future is now.
Hi, everyone. Cheryl Cran here. Really excited to share with you this next episode of my podcast, NextNow. And this one, I'm going to give you a little bit of a glimpse into 2023. We're currently working on a 2023 video that we're going to share with everyone, 23 trends for 2023. I'm also going to be sharing that in a report format. So lots to look forward to, but it's appropriate as we are now entering November, or in November as you hear this, and looking at 2023 and planning in advance. And one of the trends I want to share with you is the trend around the way work is going to get done. It's going to continue to change in 2023 and beyond. And what I mean about that is many organizations have still been looking at the worker shortage or finding employees through the lens of traditional model of full-time employee with benefits and all the onboarding that comes with that. And I've been saying this for over a decade, that the future of work is about freelance and contract and outsource. And obviously, since the pandemic happened, that's become even more relevant and real. And websites like freelancer.com or upwork.com or any of those contractor websites have experienced exponential growth over the last few years. But more than that, what we're seeing is the worker shortage. The shortage of workers is expected to continue till at least the year 2030, if not beyond. And that's going to continue to put pressure on leaders, teams, companies around how is the work going to get done. So that means we can look at that through that traditional model of, oh, we'll just keep hiring full-time employees, but that's not going to actually be the solution. The solution is in a multi-pronged approach, which is companies need to be looking at how work is done overall as a strategic initiative within each department. And this isn't an HR-only strategic approach. This is HR, IT, all senior leaders in the group looking at how is work currently being done. What are the current job needs we have? What are the skills needs? And then looking at, okay, is this a full-time job? Do we need to pay benefits? Do we need to do all the things we do for a full-time employee? Is this work that's better suited to a project? Is it a 6-month project, a 1-year project? And if so, how can we put out a call to contractors or skilled workers in this specific type of project? Or is it a freelance job? In other words, it's a short-term need for administrative support, IT support, whatever that is, and that we can fill this with also a contract or freelance or outsource or temp work situation or solution. So I think that what we need to be doing as leaders is really looking at the lens of, well, how are we going to solve this worker shortage? Well, it's going to be through creative use of talent. It's also, of course, going to be through automation, robotics, streamlining systems. But really, if we look ahead to 2030, the future workplace is going to be a combination of full-time workers, part-time workers, contract workers, outsourced workers, freelance workers, project workers, and teams are going to be much more complex. And the people that you are hiring are going to have to be able to hit the ground running. Now, the beautiful thing about a contractor is typically if you're hiring to match their skills with the projects that are available, you can have them hit the ground running because as long as they have context, they can run with what they're trying to create. And you have really clear definitions of the project scopes and what you want delivered. The opportunity for leaders is to look at themselves less as a leader within a traditional scope of leadership. In other words, I'm in charge of a department and full-time employees, but more or less opening perspective to, I may have a department and I am leading a multitude of different styles of workers, and I'm adapting to those different styles of workers, the full-time workers, the part-time workers, the contract workers, and I am bringing together those diverse types of workers as a team that are collectively collaborating around really clear goals and objectives and outputs. And that requires leaders that are far more flexible, far more adaptable, able to share leadership, able to recognize leadership traits in the people that are in our new diverse team, ability to share the workload or to see people with natural leadership attributes to be leading others. Another shift we're going to see is whereas you might have had full-time employees become the natural supervisors or the natural managers, we are going to see that you might have a contract worker who is really adding tremendous value. And because of the specific project, it's better to have a team report to them as a project leader rather than a full-time person inside the organization. So what it means is moving forward that whether you're a leader or whether you're a team member, the ability to be agile within a new diverse workplace reality is very much on pace for the future workplace in 2023 and beyond. So right now, if you're listening and you're a leader, the opportunity to increase our leadership skill, our leadership ability to even elevate what we already know about personalities, what we already know about work styles, but really work to maximize our perspectives around what is the mindset of a full-time worker? What is the mindset of a contract or outsourced worker? What is the mindset of somebody who's working part-time? What is the mindset of somebody who's job sharing? What is the mindset of somebody who's maybe doing a freelance project? What is the mindset of a project manager? So we really have to really enlarge our perspective around work, how it's done, and the types of people who do those different types of work. For example, contractors are typically very autonomous, self-motivated, able to work in remote or in-office environments with great agility because by the nature of being a contractor, they're having to adapt to multiple workplaces all the time. If you're not a leader listening to this and you're thinking, well, what does that mean for me as a worker? Good news, the year of the worker, 2023 and beyond, means that you get to decide how you want to work and how you want to live your life. So what's really exciting about that is every worker, imagine if every worker in the world asked themselves truthfully, am I doing what I love? Am I working in a style that suits my personality, that suits my work style, that suits my lifestyle, that suits my family? So, for example, you might be in a full-time position right now, but your personality longs for more spontaneity and novelty, which maybe contract work would give you. Or you're thinking, me and my family want to go on a RV tour for a year, and I can do that if I'm a contractor or if I'm outsourced. So the future is far more mobile. WFA, work from anywhere, is going to be even more amplified. And as I said, leaders need to be able to lead and navigate this new workplace. But one major takeaway of this particular episode is for each of us listening or participating or watching to think about what does that mean for me? If the trend is towards diverse workplace, if the trends are towards different ways of working, if the trends are towards more autonomy and project and results, what does that mean for me as a leader that I need to learn to be better? What does it mean for me as a worker as far as my options? So I hope that gives you some excitement about the future, but also prepares you for the reality of where we're going moving forward. And I'll talk more about the skills required because this ain't the rodeo of the previous decade. This is a brand new ball game that we're entering. And it means major flexing of our change leadership skills is needed. Take care.